Bitcoin has now fallen down to the bottom of our support range, and this means that there are some new developments that I want to talk to you about. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about this little bounce that we're seeing, if we're going to be able to keep this bounce, or if we're probably going to continue dropping right back down towards perhaps the $20,000 level and so on. So that's what we're going through in this one. And, one of the first things that I just want to talk about is that as far as this dump goes, especially since the moment that it started until the point where we haven't seen any relief, which in my opinion is from up here, which was 5th of May, 4 days ago, to the low that we set today, we ended up dropping pretty much continuously for 24%, moving 24% down, right? And in this rally, in this drop so far, the biggest moves up that we had were here, plus 3%, another plus 3%, and another nearly 3% gain. This one that we saw just today, though, this one measures up to 5.8%, and this one measures up to 5%. So again, this is exactly what I was warning about in the previous live stream and video. If you didn't see it, it's probably because you're not smashing up those likes, and it's probably because you're not subscribed. So go ahead and fix that right now if you haven't done so already. But one of the key things that I was warning about is that I would be expecting some stronger bounces. And the other thing that I think is also worth paying attention to is the fact that we were previously dropping down pretty quickly, but that has now effectively paused, and we are what I would say we're doing is we're consolidating. It's hard to say, but one of the key things that it looks like we could be doing right now, and there's so many different things that the market could be doing, especially in these early hours, but one of those things I think is potentially moving down and bear flagging, and this means potentially trading sideways. Bitcoin recently has quite enjoyed dropping down quickly and then just dropping down, slowly. I don't know how I can demonstrate this. I'm not very good at drawing stuff like this, but that's kind of, what Bitcoin has been doing. And if I zoom out, this is pretty straightforward for me to point out. Look, we drop very quickly, then we drop slower, then we drop quickly again, then we drop slower, then we drop quickly again, right? So, maybe we're doing one of these, then we drop slower, type things. I don't know. I think that's getting a little bit too predictable, but I'm just putting it on your radar because that is something that I'm watching. The nature of these kind of chart patterns is that we need to watch them develop in order to draw these conclusions. At the very beginning, it can be anything. But, as time goes on, we get a clearer and clearer image of what is actually going on, and then bam, we generally get the breakout. That's how healthy markets move, and obviously this is a very healthy market right now because it's volatile. So obviously this is where traders come out to play. This is where those who are prepared and who are opportunity seekers, opportunity takers, are ready to dominate in this market. You already know the only place that I'll be doing that on is Bybit, linked in the description down below. And when you sign up using my link in the description down below, you're also going to be getting some free cash deposited into your account as a thank you for using my sign up link. This is the exchange to be at a time like this because of its safety, its liquidity, its security, its reliability. I can go on. I've been working with them for years and absolutely love them. Again, link in the description. You get some free cash when you make your first deposit. So check that out. But again, moving us back to the charts right here, like I said, the main thing that we could be looking at right now is a potential continuation pattern. Green volume is good. It's not great, but it's definitely, close enough to where the red volume was for me to be a little bit confident about it. And interestingly, we managed to fall right down to the bottom of my range. I didn't draw these lines differently before I started making the video. The box was just literally this accurate, which I am super excited about. My box was accurate within about $10. It's funny how that happens a lot on this YouTube channel. And the green line also more or less quite accurate as well, showing us where Bitcoin has been able to bottom for today. If we zoom out and take a look at what this box represents, this is the range that Bitcoin has been finding support in going back now to January of 2021. That was 17 months ago. That's a bloody long time that we've been able to use this area as support, and once again it's worked today as well. Now obviously this bounce is not strong, and that is concerning, but on the flip side, it is a bounce nonetheless. And it might just be one that's starting slowly. I don't want to draw a conclusion on that yet. By the way, I think the fear and greed index is updated. Yeah, look at that. We're at a reading of 10 today. There we go. This updated just 3 hours ago. So a reading of 10 on the fear and greed index. Absolutely great. Guys, if you appreciate this double upload today, I did a 2-hour live stream earlier today and now back on the video again. Do me a favor, guys, just smash up the likes if you appreciate these updates around the clock. Of course, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't done so already. already. And this content is super time sensitive, so make sure that you're ticking that bell so that you get notified for these videos. The other way to get notified for these videos is by joining my free Telegram channel with the first link in the description down below. And from there, we're going to give you more analysis on the markets in that channel straight to your phone, where it's time sensitive, so you can read it and get it as soon as you need. And we don't spam in there either. We're not putting random stuff in there. And so, yeah, moving us back to the charts right here, it's very nice to see that we are bouncing. The thing is, like I said, it's not been the strongest bounce. If we look at the other bounces that we got from this range, they have been stronger. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let me scrub the chart all the way back. Take a look at this right here, right? See, the first time that we used this support, and this is summer of last year. I mean, you guys will probably know what we're looking at right here. This is when Bitcoin up here was at 50,000, then it fell down to 30, then it traded sideways, did some annoying stuff, it dipped down again below my camera, and then it rocketed up to $53,000, and then it pulled back to 40. So that's what we're looking at right here. And I just want to focus your attention on how strong these bounces were, right? Take a look at this. We ended up dipping down this is barely even a dip, this is a fucking crash. We were crashing down very quickly, and then within the first hours of trading following that, we saw a very quick recovery. The next time we again saw a quick recovery, and the time after that we saw a quick recovery, although it is noticeably getting slower. This one is slower as well. This one is even slower. So there are these underlying signs, guys. If you're paying attention, people say TA doesn't work and stuff like that. Ladies and gents, if you're paying attention, there are these underlying signs. I mean, we're watching this develop where the initial drops down into the support area are brought up very quickly. Look at how quick these are brought up. And then look, this one is markedly slower. This one slower still, and this one even more slower. The end result, we end up collapsing below the range eventually on two separate occasions. And on this occasion, we also get closes below the range as well. Now, obviously, this didn't end up mattering in the end. It's all a probability thing. But broadly speaking, in general context, we don't need to assume that this would be the exception. This is actually a pretty good indication that the market is extremely bearish and really leaning to the downside. The fact that it only moved up, in my opinion, was just luck. It was just chance. That's how these markets work. Our job as analysts and our job as traders is to balance up the probabilities and then make confident, calculated decisions about them. That's what we're doing as analysts and traders. And that means you can do everything right. You can have a really good switched on mindset with your analysis and your trading, and it might not be enough. And that's why we manage risk. That's why we exercise risk management. That's why we don't put too much money into the trades we're taking. That's why we're sensible with where we allocate funds. Even if we're very confident, we're still being careful with where we put our money. Very important things, ladies and gents, that I had to, interrupt the video with a little bit. If that kind of thing really rung true with you, then this is exactly what VIP is all about. I mean, this YouTube channel is about analysis. That's great. It's very useful, but VIP is where the trading stuff comes in. I'm telling you everything about every trade I'm making, my entry levels, my stop losses, but also my reasoning behind what I'm doing, giving you updates on the trades as they're going on. There's a lot going on inside of VIP right now as we speak. The market is super volatile, and like I said at the beginning of this video, this is exactly what we want as traders. So if you want to jump inside and just see what's on offer, we're also running a 25% discount. Bam, steps are on screen right here. You already know the deal. But let's bring it back to the video right here. Again, I just want to focus your attention back to this $30,000 level. If we compare it to the kind of hits we were seeing before, this is pretty clear. We've now spent a good number of hours down at these price levels, and we're just not getting the big bounce yet. Does it mean we won't get one? No, we can still get one. It might happen like this, or it might happen a little bit later on. I don't know, but we can still get one. The thing is, look, I don't like the weakness. Even if we did get a bounce now, I'm gonna worry. Well, maybe the bounce isn't gonna go too high. Because if we didn't get a bounce yet, then how bullish really are we? You know what I mean? So I'd be wondering, will this actually be able to rise up into the, mid 30K range, because one of the resistance areas that I'm looking at is, $37,000, right? And so I need to see if we're going to get there. And yeah, I mean, with this kind of weakness, look, this is the thing. There's a lot of resistance up ahead. If we look at this on the hourly time frame, we've got the Ichimoku cloud loading up right here. I mean, resistance on this cloud starts at 34 and ends at 36. But if we're slow about it, I mean, we go into literally 2 days from now, Wednesday. We are. We're looking at resistance as low as basically $32,000. 4-hour time frame is a little bit more forgiving. The resistance starts off much higher, towards the 37, 39K kind of region up here. And it's a similar story for the moving averages. On the 4-hour time frame, we're still quite far away from them, but on the 1-hour time frame, we're not very far away from them. These moving averages right now are down at $31,600, and that's going to show me that I should expect a little bit of bearish momentum to attack the market now. Perhaps that means we get a peak up and then we get smacked back down. It doesn't mean that we break support and drop down towards $20,000, although I get to that in just a second. As I mentioned earlier on in this video, smash up the likes if you're excited for that. That's not what it necessarily means. It could just mean that we kind of plummet back down to these lows, and then we try again. What I want to do is show you how there's always so many different directions that the market can take, and how we try and find the right path that the market could be taking based off the previous signs, the previous hints that it's given us. This exact exercise is what allows us to build a very well-informed picture of what's actually going on in the market. And of course, that is the prerequisite to trading successfully. You can't trade successfully if your analysis is not as good as it can possibly be. So there we go. That's the EMA ribbon, also offering a little bit of resistance to the market. The good news, I think, for now is that we haven't actually collapsed below it. Obviously, a lot of people are worried about that. A lot of people are selling right now. And again, I just want to remind you of the facts. I'm not going to, say that we're definitely not dropping down. I think, right now, I think as much as you that this is not a good situation for the market. But what I will do is just run through a checklist of facts, things to keep you sane, things to keep me sane, things to remember as competent analysts and traders. Number one, the fear and greed index is down to lows that usually trigger market reversals. This one is like the strongest point to me. Number two, we have had a mostly relentless sell-off. We've dropped down massively with this leg down, with no relief yet other than this, meager 5% move to the upside. I forgot where we're at now. I'm guessing that was number 2 or 3. But the next one is that we are, at our support levels at about the $29,000 to $35,000 level. This support area, might I add, has never failed. Throughout Bitcoin's entire history, this support area has never failed. We have wicked below it. We maybe closed right here. I don't know. To me, that doesn't even really count. So this support area is 100% success rate so far. It stood a test of 17 months. Is that enough? I don't know. I'm just laying out the facts for you. I don't want to make the decision for you. I just want to put the facts on the table, especially the facts that you may not have considered. That's my job here. I've obviously already got my opinion. My opinion is I'm still bullish. I just, as a rule, I don't like to be bearish when we are at support levels. That's a very, very important point. If I was bearish at support levels previously, I would have gotten this wrong 18 times. So I would not like to do that, even though it looks very appealing. And actually, on this last drop right here, I did switch bias and become very bearish, and I was horribly wrong about it. So again, support levels are, and this is an example of me, I'm not a perfect trader. I make mistakes, right? And so I kept that with me as the market moved up and back down, and it, reminding myself to, be bullish at support, be bearish at resistance has been very, very useful. So Hopefully that's useful for you guys as well. And this not only has this support zone supported Bitcoin so many times in the past, but the final point is that it also triggered big bounces. We don't generally see small bounces from this support box. The bounces we've seen, if we, measure them up, take a look at this. We bounced off this level right here. We managed to rally up within the next few days by 33%. On this occasion, we rallied up by 20%. Guys, bear in mind, right now it's only 5%. On this occasion, we managed to move up by 30%, or 100%, or 122%, depending on how generous you want to be. I can go on. On this occasion, we ended up pumping by 40% and so on and so forth. I'm not going to waste your time on this any longer. You get the point. So far, we are at a 5% move. So again, does this mean that we're going to, suddenly rally up and hit resistance levels? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. In some ways, this is worse right now. I mean, the fact that we were down at the support level before and we're back down at here at the support level now again is not good. I mean, it's just not good. It's a really, really bearish sign. It's horrible actually, because what it indicates is that it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough of a correction apparently, and we needed to come back and get kicked in the teeth again. So it's not good, and I'm not happy to see it. But at the same time, do we have all of the factors that trigger a reversal again? Like especially the fear and greed index being at a reading of 10. Do we have that as well? Yeah, we do, definitely. So I've picked my bias, still bullish, and it'll stay that way until we drop below this line with some conviction, this $29,900 line, which I've had drawn for a very, very long time, just around these levels. We've been watching this for a while, and obviously you guys know the picture. I mean, on the way up from $20,000 to $30,000, Bitcoin did absolutely nothing. It just moved up in a straight line, and unfortunately, because of that straight line, we do not have any support in this range. And so if we do end up dropping below this 29.9K area, I can only expect that we fall down to around 20K. Now, one of the ideas that I was talking about before, which people were very easily entertaining, but now people are not entertaining these ideas so much, which is, again, just such a classic display of how people completely lose their grounding when the market drops. I mean, they are just tuned out. They're not thinking. They're just emotional. We used to talk on this YouTube channel, between you and I, comments and all that, about how, people would probably try and front run the market. If the price fell down to, was going down towards 20K, well, I know that you would probably want to buy at 20K, so I'm going to set my buy order at 21. And then, the next guy thinks that I would do that. And so he sets his buy order at 22. And then you don't end up hitting the low. And this has happened many times. I mean, the best example of this was back here in 2018, where Bitcoin fell from, a stable kind of $6,000 price consolidation area. It halved down to $3,100. But the next time we were unable to puncture that low. We tried, but we didn't get there. We came within 10%, a little bit less than 10%, and then the market rallied up. And we haven't been down this low or this low ever since that point, not even in the March coronavirus crash of 2020. So, I think that's very important to keep in mind, especially as we are in this market right now as well. A lot of people just are totally unable to keep these things in mind when the market starts getting scary. But more than likely, I think a lot of people are going to be interested in buying at 20K. And so if we do end up losing this support, I'm going to expect that the buy orders come in a little bit earlier than 20K. I've heard some other ideas of 16K, 18K, 9K, 5, whatever. Anything's possible. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling anything out. Anything is possible. But come on, bro. That's all I can say. Come on, bro. I don't think so. Those are my thoughts on the market right now. I'll continue to give you updates around the clock on what I'm seeing. Just make sure that you are hitting the likes, that you are subscribed, and have ticked the bell. Also, that you're in our free Telegram channel where you can get more updates on these videos and analysis pieces around the clock. Obviously, like I said, this is all super time sensitive, so it's critical to be able to watch this stuff when it comes out. If you haven't had a chance yet, but you like free money, then check Bybit out, again with my link in the description down below. Again, this is the only exchange that I'm using to trade, and it's been like that pretty much for years. So if you do want to sign up, you're also going to be getting some cash deposited into your account totally free when you make your first deposit on Bybit. Obviously, depending on where in the world you are going to need to use a VPN, and I have to recommend against that. And so yeah, that's what I'm seeing right here for the charts. There's Bybit, steps for VIP, and with that, yeah, hope you have enjoyed this one. Once again, likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'm out. Bye bye.